Good morning, beautiful people. I mean, as always, I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm tired. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I came home from work, and even yesterday, shoot, just recently, I just haven't had too much to do. It's not so much that I don't want to do the podcast, because that's the thing is, it boils down to that of like when I got home from work. No, my ideal thing to be doing wasn't recording and then editing and then uploading, but it's got to be done. And at the end of the day, I just have a lot going on. I mean, shoot, I'm planning for Stagecoach. I just finished two 40-hour weeks um, for Coachella, or two 40-hour weeks and two Coachella weekends, going all out for it, making custom drinks, custom food, not custom food, I guess isn't the right word, but having food ready for it, making it a whole event for myself. Um, Staying up till like midnight watching like Justin Bieber, just all of it. Um, and it's exhausting. Point blank. Period. Um, it's quite exhausting, but I'm having a good time and I'm living. And I'm also, that's the other thing too, is I'm also maintaining a social life. I'm going on dates. Um, and we can talk more about that in a second. But I'm really happy with where I'm at in my life. Okay, I'm at a good place in life. I really am. But the problem is, I just am so tired. Okay, now I get stuff done. Okay, a lot of stuff done. But at the end of the day, I'm still so tired. Yeah, I work 40-hour weeks and party during the weekend and maintain relationships and all of this stuff, okay? But it's still exhausting, you know? Yeah, I keep my house clean. I every week vacuum and mop, even with Coachella going on and everything. At the end of every like festival night, it's a mess. So like every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it was a mess because I had this kind of food laying here, that kind of food laying there, these drinks here spilled like champagne or Remy or Saint Germain, super sticky by the way because it's super super sugary. Just like cleaning up that, dealing with the dishes at the end of the night. Recently, my dishwasher has just clogged, so I get to deal with that. I should be dealing with that right now, but instead we're here because priorities. And um, a lot's been going on. I will tell y'all that much. Let me set a reminder so I don't yap all day to y'all. Um, bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Um, but anyway, so there's a lot going on. So yeah, no, I didn't come home being like, yeah, wow, I want to work more, you know, because this is work at the end of the day. I have to get the lighting set up right, the camera focused right, the exposure meter focused right, because it literally depends on the day. I don't have like blackout curtains, and so like the best I have is like bare minimum curtains. Basically, they're like those plastic curtains, you know, that like they'll snap off if you like. You can snap them off at the top or snap them back on that way, and they just you like push them and they all go to the side and stuff. Those, so they only block out so much light. So like the lighting depends on the day, quite literally. Not to mention my lights die because they have to be charged, and I can only charge one of them at a time, and so it's just there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, but I'm grateful to be able to do it, and I'm grateful that I'm here. Did I mention my tech? Yeah, yeah, I mentioned last week my technician coming over. Okay, so disregard that. Okay, we talked about that last week where he was asking about the setup. Um, but so since last week, okay, and I think we delved into this. Um, Situationship, I guess, for lack of a better term. Um, Situationship T dead, gone. So we went out, we hung out Oh yeah, y'all can't know about this because we did all of this after I went out with her. No, I don't think we. I think I talked about this, but how would I have talked about this? Anyway, I'll talk about it again just in case I don't remember. So I went out with her. We went out, and I am so scared it's out of focus, y'all. After last week, I'm traumatized. I'm so sorry if it's in focus right now and everything's fine. I just need to confirm because what happened last week was absolutely unacceptable. Okay, we're good. I think. I don't know. You guys tell me. It looks from my perspective like we're good. Um anyway, and so I'm just so scared. Why is the background so in focus? It freaks me out, you guys. Um. Anyway, so we went out. I think it was last Thursday. Shoot. I mean, time goes by so fast at this point. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I just cannot be having this happen again. Not twice in a row. Not on my podcast. Not on my podcast. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, let's see. How are we looking? I think we're good. Okay, anyway. And so we went out Thursday and then we were like talk, and I regret to inform you that I did pay for her lemonade and I also paid for a movie ticket for her. I told her straight up, I was like, yeah, I want to do 50-50 on our first date, but technically our first date didn't go as it was supposed to. Anyway, next day the feels were off. I was like, girl, what's going on? I definitely talked about this. We don't need to redelve into this. We didn't work out. And now she's just archived, processed. We're all good with that. So now we have somebody else we're talking to. Okay. And my hot take, actually, something that I've realized as my frontal lobe develops, I used to be such a girl's girl. Okay. I used to be such a men suck, women are innocent, they can do no wrong, blah, blah, blah. Until I started seeing women on the internet recently. Okay. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I saw a clip of Clavicular and Andrew Tate a second ago. Is Andrew Tate really that bad? Is he that bad at the end of the day? Is he? And same with like, I'm sorry, but women aren't always right. My opinion has most definitely changed about that, okay? I used to delusionally, and it was like mostly jokingly, but like still, I would stick by women and be like, ooh, but the man, oh, it was because it was a man, oh, blah, blah. No, women are pretty rough too, for sure. Um, and now I'm just getting it more and more in my age of late 22. Um, because some women are just insane, crazy. I mean, I'll say it. Because what are you talking about? We are in our grown age. She, by the way, we're not even. But like, how are you gonna be like not? How can you not even communicate at our grown age? Mind you, everyone that I've matched with so far is older than me, I believe, and so we are collectively too grown to not be communicating and to be like just like blocking or just it's so ick. But anyway, two things. One, I've also learned a lot about since yesterday. It was like my day off and I still worked. I worked 8 hours, but after work it was like my day off. It was like a sober day. It was like a reset day from no, actually it was the day before yesterday. It was a reset day from like Coachella and giving me time to heal because I'm just so busy nowadays. I'm planning dates. I'm going to festivals, even though I'm not physically going. It's still just so time consuming and exhausting with how I do it. I go all out. So I'm doing all the, if I am not in focus, am I in focus, chat? I am so sorry, but I am raging after what happened last time. I think we are. Okay. Anyway, um yeah, I don't know. I'm just like women can do wrong. Women have done wrong. To me personally. And I didn't see it up until now because I stopped pursuing women about 16 years old because um, I was just too obsessed with them. It was not healthy. But now I'm getting back into the dating scene and I'm experiencing women in real time, in real life. And I'm not just saying romantically, I mean on social media too, on just, and again, not just romantically, I mean just women just saying horrible things about men. Horrible things. And I don't know why. It's like not a competition, but whatever. Anyway, um, so I've been just so busy and um like for example this week, so Monday I got the day off, okay, and I got super into clavicular's like black pill. The best thing I can think of is I always describe it as black pill culture or black pill philosophy, depending on who I'm talking to. But like clavicular's black pill culture, okay. I've got I got super into it. Okay, I just went into like a deep Instagram Reels dive of it basically because it just kept populating on my algorithm, and I was fascinated about how he got mogged by the ASU frat leader, about how the rank of women to men and men, women to men, what? Women highest to lowest, men highest to lowest. I'm getting such bad deja vu, but I know I haven't talked about this on the podcast. But anyway, so basically, okay, what I've learned so far, okay, is with women we have Stacy, then Gwen's, Stacy's, Gwen's, and then which I don't know if this can I say it, and then they have Foids, Foids, um, and then with men there's Chad Light, normies, and then incels. And so, but like, well, okay, normies, subs, and then incels is my understanding. So, I got super into that. I found out the best way to looks max myself. I've gotten so into like current pop culture. It's fascinating because this is my cup of tea. Okay, is the psychology of it with peptides and black pill culture and stuff. It's really like a game of insecurity and seeing how people when they have access to what is like I started watching a movie but I never finished it, but I've heard Tana Mongeau talk a lot about the substance where basically it's just like there's like a liquid. I'm so sorry, but like we are not in focus right now, right? But like basically the concept is there's a substance that can keep everyone alive forever, and everybody wants to get their hand on it. We're not in focus right now. Call me crazy, call me what you want, but we are not in focus right now. Ready? There is no way. We are not in focus right now. Right? Right? Hold on. Y'all, I'm crashing out right now. I need to make sure we're in focus. Bear with me. Hold on. We are in focus. Okay? That's my eye. Hello? Focus on me. Focus on me. Good boy. Focus on me. Focus on me. Dumb. In this age of technology, I know we're not doing this right now. There we go. Okay, ready? Okay. Yeah, that better have fixed it. I don't know. Watch there have never been an issue. I'm gonna go back in editing and be like, you were doing too much. I can't I can't do enough at this point. I hated that when I was editing last time and I just saw midway through that it was just like, that wooden wall looks a lot more interesting actually. Like anyway, and so I found out two things. I've gotten really into peptides. Oh, I don't use them. Don't mix me up with that, okay? Mm-mm. Peptides are literally drugs. They are literally street drugs of pharmaceuticals. Okay. Now, am I mad that people have gotten access to ways of self medicating? I will not speak on that. However, I do think that you're just like street drugs, your supplier matters, okay? Because people could be selling you straight up olive oil or vinegar or whatever they want to sell you, just powderized, and saying it's Greta, saying it's whatever. And I've been really into that, and honestly, part of me is like, I try to research. I try to be like, where do people buy this stuff? Because usually it's easy to find it. Like with the honey packs, it's like usually not that hard to find it. But they were doing a really good job with peptides, okay, of concealing where to find it. You really have to know somebody that knows somebody, and you have to be in the world again, just like drugs. It's illicit. It's problematic, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's you can't buy them. I don't know why you can't buy them, by the way, because they're not FDA approved. But you know what else isn't FDA approved? I don't think creatine powder is FDA approved. I mean, like maybe it is. I don't know, but like pre-workout probably not FDA approved. I mean, there's lots of things that aren't FDA approved, but they sell regularly, commonly. So why are they whipping it down so hard on peptides? They're research chemicals. Anyway, so I've been really getting into like, because the thing is looks maxing and the black pill culture basically is actually what started the peptides trend. I firmly believe and I stand on that. Um, and so it's kind of one and the same. But I'm just so fascinated with the two things of they have basically just made people able to prescribe their own medications with peptides, which again, I'm not saying I support that. I'm saying that's where we're at right now. Is if somebody wants to be skinnier, they take Retta. If somebody wants to change the color of their skin, they take, I don't know the exact peptide name, but it's like melanin something something. If they want to grow muscle, they'll take like the HCG, etc., etc. There's literally a peptide for anything, which I'm very, if you know me, you know I'm very unhappy with the medical system. It's very gate kept. It's very, like, getting into it is very gate kept, which is just my own personal experience with it. But I know other people have the same issue. But also getting to see a professional is so gate kept because there's so many doctors I've seen that did not care. If I said I need this medication, I need this thing is wrong, they would act like I was a drug seeker. I would be like, yeah, I have ADHD. I literally went to my primary care doctor about that when I was like 16 years old. And then he acted like I was a drug seeker. He was like, no, you don't. You just need a tutor and you just need, like, you could hear the anger in his voice and he was mad at me. It was insane. And then, guess what? In about 2 to 4 years, I get diagnosed with ADHD. And finally, I get prescribed it. But like, it's like, they don't care. People don't want to hear it. I had to go doctor after doctor after doctor, not just for the ADHD. That's not how that happened. Okay, I wasn't going doctor to doctor to doctor, but I did go doctor to doctor to doctor. This thing is wrong. This thing, I feel this way. I'm anxious. I'm this, and then it was just, oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. And so honestly, it makes me a little less upset that people are getting access to their own ways of medicating. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say it now. No, they don't have like SSRIs as peptides. I mean, actually, shoot, they probably do, but like, I haven't seen it. I mainly just see the fitness part of it. But like, on the other hand, there's people who are trying to lose weight and whose doctors will be like, just eat less, and that's like, yes, okay, but that's not gonna help them, because obviously if they could eat less, they would just have eaten less and not seen you about it. But obviously I don't support, I am not endorsing peptides. I'm not endorsing any self-medication. Absolutely none of this. I'm endorsing none of this. Make that very clear right now. I'm just fascinated with it, okay? We are growing in a world where technology is growing and growing and growing, and gatekeeping is dying. It's like, I can finally code my own stuff. I can finally research my own stuff. I can do all of this stuff without needing a PhD in it, without needing to go to school for 4 years for it specifically. Because I went to school for 4 years, but there's other things that I want to do besides it. You know what I mean? Not my hair, just and I would like to be able to do those things without going and paying tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars for it, And so it's like, thank God for technology evolving. And at the end of the day, if doctors aren't going to listen, people are going to find out their own way. It's the facts. It's like swim or drown. What's the word? Something like that. Um, at the end of the day, that's just how it goes. And so I just find this era that we're in so fascinating. Not to mention it's 2016 part two, and I have been loving every minute of it. Okay, but yeah. Aside from that, I've been training for a physical test. Okay, I have to take a physical test. To my understanding, it actually won't be around my birthday time, but it might be. I'm wanting to be ready around my birthday time just in case, because I really don't know when it will be. Um, but yeah. So, oh, by the way, for future me, because I also like to keep this podcast around as documentation for like my future like family or myself. This is Kirkland Cabernet Sauvignon, not sponsored, but that's what we have today. Um, anyway, and so yeah, it's just it's a why I love this year because I mean I've had so much fun. Coachella, by the way, Coachella week 2. Let me tell you who made appearances slash performances. Okay, Zara Larson guest performance on Pink Pantheress, I think is how you pronounce it, on Pink Pantheress' stage. Um, Billie Eilish was the one less lonely girl for Justin Bieber's performance. Um, I'm blanking. I wrote all of this down. Madonna came out for Sabrina Carpenter's performance. It was revealed that was it? I think it was Young Thug. No, no. Who was it? Somebody did a performance that revealed. It's on the tip of my tongue. Hold on. Who was it? It wasn't Young Thug. Who? It was the second day, so it was Saturday. Coachella on Saturday. I don't know. Let's find out. I posted about it on Instagram. So one less lonely girl. It was. Wow. Where was this? Young Thug. Let's see. I don't even know. Where was this? Oh my gosh. Where is it? I know I put it somewhere. Here we go. I didn't stay up to the headliners. 1, 2, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, you guys. Somebody announced that they did some work with. There we go. Here it is. Sway Lee. It was Sway Lee. Sway Lee announced that he did some work on Post Malone's new album. It sounds like, which I'm excited for. And so Coachella Weekend 2 was just iconic. It was fantastic. 10 out of 10. It was mainly all inside of day 2 was all these appearances, but still iconic moment of history. The music's been so good. The entertainment's been so good. It's all just been so good. Clavicular going viral. I mean, I watched that man's Mog World Order for multiple days, which is impressive for me because he did it for 30 days. I probably only watched like 4, but for me, that's impressive. And I watched, I can't think of the other example, but like the Coachella, the entirety of Coachella weekend 1 and weekend 2. Insane work, by the way. I'm gonna do the same with Stagecoach. I got my cowboy hat. I wish I could put it on for. I guess I could put it on for y'all. Shoot, let me go get it. I'll be right back. Let me make sure it's focused, because now I'm paranoid. Okay, so this is the hat I'll be wearing for Stagecoach. Isn't it nice? I was telling ChatGPT, I was like, this is the first cowboy hat I've ever had, that actually fit me, because like I always grew up with a big head. I'm trying to like keep it all in frame right now. I'm gonna have to slouch for this, but I grew up with a big head, and so the cowboy hats never fit me. They were always like I always had to like wear them like this basically, or they'd sit like this, and like they just look goofy. But I literally measured my head for this one. It's a perfect fit. It's actually insane. How's it look? Ella Langley, would you want me like this? Anyway, and so I'm doing Stagecoach weekend 1 and weekend 2. And then I'm also going to fight the great war of Coachella next year. I'm going to try to get tickets. They go on sale May 1st. And I'm excited about it. I'm like all worried it's like crooked, but it's fine. It's gonna be fantastic. I'm so excited. But man, it's just been a time. Anyway, so now the girl I'm talking to. Okay, let's get into that. So basically, 2016 part 2 has been fantastic. The entertainment, music, all of it. In addition to that, I'm fascinated by black pill culture. I think it's fascinating. I think it's so interesting. And I've actually learned myself how to look smacks myself, my face specifically. I'm considering it to an extent, but without the peptides or bone crushing, mainly just supplements and like skin products. Just self-care, honestly. But anyway, yeah. So that's exciting. We'll see though. It's like it's gonna cost me like $300 or $400. So we're definitely waiting on it to see if it's worth it, because there's a lot of products recommended to me. So we'll see. Some of it I know for sure I won't do. Like I don't think I'll do the chewing. What do they call it? It's like chewing gum. Like it's literally called mastic gum. But it can cause TMJ, and I don't need TMJ. I already had like a TMJ scare or something, so like now I'm good. And then are we out of focus? Yo, I need better vision. This would not be a concern if I had better vision, but here we are. I feel like we're out of focus. Chat, why does it feel like we're not in focus? If we're out of focus, I'm gonna crash out. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so Ella Langley is performing, Post Malone's performing at Stagecoach. All these people are performing at Stagecoach. I'm like so excited. I think traditionally I'm actually supposed to like hide my hair inside this hat. Excuse me. You look like you love me. You look like you want me to want you to come back home. And maybe I don't blame. Anyway, so yeah, no, I don't like that. So anyway, yeah, I got this nice hat and some stuff for Stagecoach. I'm gonna have to just show y'all my like Stagecoach and Coachella fits. I'll probably just show y'all all at once in like a photo format or something. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so it's been busy. There's been a lot going on. I've been shopping for these festivals, working full time, dealing with balancing dating, new friends, I should say, relationships, all of it, work, all of it. It's a lot, especially because work hasn't just been simple and cute. It's been pretty stressful. So yeah, long story short, there's a lot going on at the moment, and it's exciting. It is, but also just so tiring. I'm so tired, chat. I'm so tired. Oh, I have a sneeze. Hold on. Excuse me. No, I'm joking. Yeah, no. I've definitely become an Ella fella. So I've been obsessive about that. Ooh, sit up straight. No. One thing I do think about is I kind of thought about like running away to Texas, but then I was like, they'll never accept me as one of their own. I don't know anything about being a cowboy. I can dress the part, but that's about it. I mean, I could do it if I wanted to, I guess. But anyway, so now me and new girl, what we've been trying to get to, okay? New girl. We're gonna call her. I don't know. What should we call her? Excuse me. Ooh, she hasn't texted me. Maybe we just won't call her. Dang. Oh, she has. Okay. E. We're gonna call her E. So E and I just started talking about 36 hours ago. we're hitting it off pretty well. Conversation's flowing pretty good. We have inside jokes. We have all this stuff. It's pretty great to me. Um, but um, our first date's tomorrow. I'm like not super nervous, except the most nerve-wracking part is that she doesn't drink, and I do. This is something that's made me nervous. Is the sober date? Because to me, a first date should like always be drinks. It's like an easy out. You know what I mean? Like you're not committed to eating a whole meal. You don't have to take it home with you. You guys have like more casual conversation because the alcohol. It's like to me that just makes the most sense. But there are people who don't drink, and to me that's not it's not a deal breaker. I mean, like I don't need my wife to be a party girl. I don't even know if I want her to be one. But like it's not a requirement of who I'm gonna marry, right? So it's like, yeah, you not drinking sucks for me, but only because the first date. That's it. It's like as long as you don't care that I drink and you can be around me drinking, I see no issue. You know what I mean? Um, but the first date we're gonna have to do a sober date. So we're gonna go get coffee, and it'll hopefully probably be cute. I don't know. Last time I went on a first date, the girl texted me after and was like, "Yeah, I just don't see." Well, first she left me on red for hours, multiple times. Then she said, "I just don't see us romantically." I think she said more than that, but I didn't read it. I just saw that and I was like, "Dang, that hurts." And so I was like, "Yeah, okay." I liked the message and I just archived the chat because I was like, "No, humiliation ritual." Like, um, and so I don't know, but whether it goes good or not, we'll see. Dang, I look like my brother. Ugh. Ugh. And maybe I don't blame you. I could pour this on this hat right now, and it would just come right off. It's 10x. Cody James. Yay how? Anyway, is that offensive? I'm so sorry. Is that offensive? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah. So that's just been life lately. I'm just so tired. Cannot say that enough. I'm tired at work. I'm tired right now. I'm tired when I wake up. I'm just tired. But you know what? I'm getting a lot done, okay? I am speed running life. I'll tell you what. There's no doubt in nobody's mind that I'm getting a lot done. Actually, there's probably doubts in people's. There's doubts in my mother's mind. My mother's like, I swear, I could literally be the first person to ever. I could fix world hunger, and my mom would be proud of me for about 2 minutes, and then she'd forget about it, and then she'd be like, "You never do anything. You're leaving your dishes here. You're doing this. You're just. You never respond to my text. Like whatever it would be. I don't know, but Hold on, I have to do this. Hold on. All heart. Why do I know that? Anyway, um, so yeah, my mother really is my greatest op. But anyway, I told my date that I told her I wasn't really close with my family, but I love my mother, and she said, "Yeah, that in of itself is can be a red flag." And then I told her she's not good with humor, by the way. Um, I told her something like what was it? I told her something like oh yeah, my mom said that she wants to walk down the aisle with me or something like that. Something crazy, outlandish like that. And like thinking about it now, I don't know if she understood that that was a joke. Even though I laughed it off when she said that in of itself could be a red flag, and I said true. And then I immediately followed it with that, also laughing again. She was not good with jokes. I can tell you all that much. I kept making jokes to her, and she took them seriously. I told her, It doesn't matter. Anyway, she was not good with jokes. Is all that really matters. Um, y'all like my hat though? I need to sit up straight, y'all. I'm so sorry. Um, it's just I just don't like it because then the cowboy hat just cut off. But it's okay. It's not good photography, but that's okay. You look. And so yeah, that's been that. What else? I don't know. I don't have a lot else going on. I don't have a lot going on. Also, Coachella, new outfit every day, face makeup for the new outfits every day, jewelry customized for each day. Same with Stagecoach, working 40 hours plus a week, being stressed out of my mind at work, aside from the 40 hours, and overwhelmed. I have a dog. I have to clean. I don't know. There's a lot going on, so I can't really say that there's not much going on. But like, we're chill about it. What's the side angle look like? What do y'all think? What's the side angle look like? Would y'all recommend? Anyway, so for this hat, what I was getting at with all of this before I went way off track was I had to measure it by hand, okay? So I didn't have to, I guess, but I did. Because I didn't want to go in and be like, well, y'all measure my head for a cowboy hat. Like, yikes. And so I measured it myself. Because I have, like, I guess they call it tailor's tape. I bought it genuinely so that I could measure the glass back here. But also because I figured it'd be helpful because I'm, like, trying to get into, like, sewing and stuff. I got into it for a little bit and then I got out of it and I want to get back into it eventually. And I was like, well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be helpful for tailor's tape for sure. But I just needed soft tape to measure with instead of like a hard tape measurer. And so I use it to measure my head. I found out my hat size is 7 5/8, which according to ChatGPT is like an XXL. No, it's like an XL actually, I think it said. Approaching an XXL. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. I'm right on the edge of needing custom ordered hats. But thank God I don't need it because I don't want to be custom ordering my hats. And honestly, this thing, shoot, I mean, it's a really good fit. It really is. I've never had a hat fit me like this. Or maybe at all, actually. Never really had a hat fit me at all, actually. But yeah, it's a nice hat, y'all. I love this hat. I wonder if I can this be signed? If I ever like go to like an Ella Langley concert or something, I'll have to bring like a silver Sharpie and have her sign the inside of my hat. I would cry. I would never want to wear the hat again. I love Ella Langley, by the way. But yeah, there's a lot going on at the moment, but I'm acting like there's not for some reason. I really don't know why. But so anyway, tomorrow I have the date with E. Me and E are gonna go get coffee. We decided on Starbucks, I think. Wait, no, we didn't. We haven't decided yet. She told me actually, and I'm waiting to respond. I'm gonna finish this and then I'll respond. But I'll let y'all know how that goes. Right now we have E and M. E and M. So like me, M and E, whatever. But like we have me, M and E. Me and E are hitting it off way better than me and M, but I'm trying with M. It's just hard because like I said, yeah, I'm gonna read our text out loud. What about it? Okay, so I'm on this dating app, and me and M. What? Why am I getting a professional text right now? Okay. Anyway, so I'm on this dating app, and I'm texting this girl, and this girl is like interested in me allegedly. She matches with me, but then I say something like, I see you're into shows. Any show you're super into right now? She says, not right now. I've been thinking about starting Dexter, though. Why are people like, it'll be like, my passions are, and she'll say, like, TV show. Like, so the prompt was, I'm into dot dot dot. And she said this, by the way. You can find me gaming, reading interesting books, or binge watching shows. So she willingly put that in there. And then I ask about it, and she's like, "No, I'm not really into that." Okay, are you into me, or are you not really into me either? And so I said, "Ooh, I love Dexter." Um, and then I said, "Are you super into like true crime, serial killer stuff, or not really?" And she said, "Yeah, that's one of the genres I watch a lot." I said, "Have you seen the Monsters series on Netflix? If you at all are into like true crime and stuff, you should know the Monsters series on Netflix. Honestly, people who aren't even into that should know the Net Monsters series on Netflix." So she says, I kid you not. Okay. She responds and she says, "I've watched all of those except, well, okay, so sorry. I said, have you seen the Monsters series on Netflix?" Then I further clarified because I'm used to people who just don't understand anything that you say. And so I just clarify everything I say ever now. And I said, "Have you ever seen the Monsters series on Netflix, like the Dahmer, Ed Gein, Menendez brothers series slash series?" Not no series is not a word, but again for clarity, yeah. So she said, "I've watched all of those except the Ed Gein and can't remember about the Monsters one." So at first you had me, okay? I've watched all those except the Ed Gein. Like, okay, so you've seen the Menendez brothers and Dahmer. Okay, that makes sense. But then she says, "I can't remember the Monsters one." They're all monsters. That's the series. It's Monsters, the Dahmer story. Monsters, the Ed Gein story. Monsters, the Menendez brothers. It is not pick and choose. It's not like it. They're not their own. They are all in the Monster series. They are not independent shows. They are, but they're not. And it's just, I was like this girl, and so I was like, okay, I'll go, okay, give her a chance, give her a chance. So then I was like, okay, I'll give her another chance. I said, "Haha, fair. Monsters is basically the umbrella name for the Dahmer Menendez type series on Netflix. You definitely saw the Dahmer one though, right? Or are we on totally different pages right now?" And they said, "No, I did see that one. The Monsters one sounds familiar, but it's because I saw a few different ones on Dahmer and the brothers." What does that mean? What does that mean? At this point, I was like, yeah, I gotta give up. I gotta stop trying. And so then I was just like, yeah, are you more of a stay in or go out kind of girl? because because I fear our conversation was getting too deep for her. I'm so sorry, but like nothing I was saying was computing to her. And so I was like, you know what? Let's lower it. Let's lower it a little bit. So that's what I did is I lowered it a little bit. And now it's really hard to have a conversation. But now we're talking about GTA 6. Apparently she's quite passionate about that. So I finally got her response on that. I haven't responded to it yet because we're doing this. But yeah. Anyway. So that's how M is going. But E is going pretty good. Me and E are pretty similar. We seem to have similar sense of humor, similar people in general. It's just fantastic. But yeah, I think that sums up this weekend or this last week pretty well. I'm gonna go and I need to sand down my jeans for this weekend for Stagecoach. I know that sounds weird, but I do. So thank you all so much for listening to this week's podcast episode. If you enjoyed, please leave a 5-star, 10-star, thumbs up, the best rating you can. It means so much to me because it shows to me that you like what you're seeing. Leave a comment letting me know what you think about it, what you want to see more of. And if you could share it with a friend or somebody who might be interested, I would love that because I'd love to do this full time. I cannot emphasize that enough. That would be that's the dream. That'd be a blessing to me. So thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys. I love you. Say it back. Just kidding. But I love you. Look at this hat. Ooh. Oh, look at that hat. I like it. Bye, guys.